We held an audience vote contest and asked the Passionistas community to vote daily for the woman-funded or woman-centric 501c3 that they wanted to see honored with the Passionistas Persist Visionary Award. The nominees were To Live to Cure, Aaron's Coffee Corner, Batonage Woman in Wine, Be Humanitarian, Home of Champions, Mary Rose Foundation, Miri's List, Paint the World, and Project You First. You can learn more about all of these amazing organizations at thepassionistasproject.com.
The recipient of tonight's Passionistas Persist Visionary Award is Carolyn Koppel from Aaron's Coffee Corner. Carolyn began Aaron's Coffee Corner after spending many long nights in the pediatric intensive care unit with her son Aaron. Her organization provides 24/7 access to free, fresh, quality coffee in the family great rooms of hospital PICUs. Aaron's Coffee Corner's mission is to provide the smallest of comforts to the family, friends, and caregivers of critically ill children by providing something familiar in an unfamiliar place. So it's our honor to present the Passionistas Persist Visionary Award to Carolyn Koppel.
It's an honor to receive the Passionistas Persist Visionary Award for our efforts in providing direct support to people that often get overlooked in the medical jungle we call healthcare. Parents are a crucial part of the puzzle, and Aaron's Coffee Corner wants them to know that we see them. Providing a daily dose of comfort in the form of coffee and tea is the least we can do to acknowledge their courage, their grit, and determination while they care for their children in a uniquely stressful situation. Aaron's Coffee Corner is thrilled to accept this award on behalf of all of our persistent supporters who voted and acknowledged the work that parents, families, and caregivers and guardians do for their critically ill children, not only when they are in the hospital, but what they do for them every day. We would never have been able to make the progress we have made without the help of Keurig Dr. Pepper, the Ann and Robert Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago, and all of our supporters, family, and friends who voted. They voted with their daily Wordle or, with their morning coffee, or they stopped me on the street while I was walking my dog to tell me they were voting every day. And it was just such an honor to know that people were out there listening and supporting us, and we had no idea. It's just an honor to receive this award. It's our first. We hope we set an example that will allow it to be the first of many. We are so proud of the organization because Aaron is a part of it, and we are all in the now, and people can see where the idea was born, and we just thank you for acknowledging us. It's really, really lovely.
Tell us what you're most passionate about.
My passions have changed over the years, and right now those things that are most important to me is helping other people. So as we have worked on our project, I see the impact that we have made, and it creates a greater passion for me to continue what we're doing. I think Aaron's Coffee Corner and my son Aaron are my drivers, and they're my passion at the moment, along with the rest of my family.
Tell everybody a little bit about Aaron.
Oh, Aaron is 17 years old. We started Aaron's Coffee Corner when he was 13. He is nonverbal and non-ambulatory. He has an underlying disorder called dihydropyrimidine dehydrogenase deficiency. Right now, he's the only living survivor of this disorder at this age. So we're very lucky to have him, and we've had great help along the way. He is a critically ill child all the time. He is chronically ill. He suffers from epilepsy, but he's, all those things that he can't do. One of the things he can do is he can light up a room with his smile. He's super handsome. He's engaged with the world around him. And we are proud of all the things that he has done in these last 17 years. And what he has given us has really created an outlook of, appreciation. It's kind of cliche, but you really do appreciate every day he wakes up. So it's just one of those, he's just really the light in our lives in so many ways, and so many other people's life as well.
Tell us more about Aaron's Coffee Corner's mission.
Aaron's Coffee Corner provides a safe place for people to go and get direct support by getting a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in the family great rooms at Lurie's Children's Hospital's pediatric intensive care units and their neonatal intensive care unit now. So we've created a space where they can go grab a cup of coffee or tea and really just take a moment to get out of their room with their sick child and refresh and just clear their mind for a minute. So what we try and do is create an environment where people feel they can take a moment for themselves and really stay present for their child while they're in the hospital.
So many charities focus on the patients. Why did you decide to create an organization that really focuses more on the families?
Because I am the family. It was a selfish thing to do, right? It was all about me one night late in a room by myself, and I needed coffee. So I think that it makes it even more important because it's part of my community, and I realize that these people need coffee like I need coffee in the middle of the night or whenever I'm admitted into a pediatric intensive care unit because my son is sick. So I think that it was just circumstance that brought me to the place where I could think about providing something that I know others would really appreciate. And that took me a long time to do. I mean, Aaron is 17, and the first few years are hard. It's hard to have a critically ill child that you're caring for 24/7. I had a lot of help, and I'm very lucky about that. But there's a lot of mourning, of loss, of all the things that you're not going to have with your child. And it takes a long time to kind of work through. And it's been 14 years past his prognosis. He wasn't supposed to live past the age of 3. So when we look around at ourselves, we're very lucky. Aaron is pretty healthy. And I think that is what triggered me thinking, oh, maybe we can do something for others who are in the same situation because we've been there. We know what the situation is and how we can help them. And I knew from personal experience that coffee was something that was missing, to help those families, because if you help the family recover, the child's going to recover, right? If the people that are caring for the child are tired and disillusioned and disappointed and upset, those kinds of things can be managed a little bit by having a little time to themselves, to restoring their own being, their self-worth, how to get back in the game and walk back into that room and really stand up for their child and help their child get better.
Tell us about a time in your life that you persisted and how you got through it.
Trying to get Aaron's Coffee Corner off the ground is my key persistent moment. It took close to a year for things to kind of get everybody in line and on the same page, and to say just to say yes to helping these parents in the pediatric intensive care unit. You'd think that there was already coffee there. And what they used to have was like a bun burner, like a bun stove with a glass coffee pot, and it was always dirty. And I'm like, no, we can make that better for you. And you'd think they'd say, oh, that would be great. But there's a lot of ins and outs and politics and bureaucracy when it comes to a major hospital. And we're lucky enough that we were able to, work it out so we could at least start a pilot project. And I knew once we got in there, it was going to be hard to get rid of us. So my goal was to make it as successful as I could in the first 4 months and make sure that they saw that our fundraising could keep up with what was needed. So, because it's always hard to take things away from people. And a lot of people in the pediatric intensive care unit are there often. It's not a fun place, but they end up there because their kids are sick. So it's something that people would notice if it was gone all of a sudden. So the idea of just being sure that we were proving our worth to, not to the families and not to the PICU staff and not to the PICU doctors that were using it, but to the bureaucracy that surrounds an organization like this. So I feel like we were pretty persistent and we got it done. And now we have 2 machines. I'm hoping for a 3rd. So we'll see where it goes, but persistence paid off in this particular situation.
What's your dream for Aaron's Coffee Corner?
The dream changes. I find that I get an Instagram post from a family at Lori's, and they say how much it's meant to them to have this coffee. They've been there for 42 days, and that makes staying at Lori's and just Lori's worth it, because I know that we're really having a direct impact on the people that are using it. I think pre-COVID, we had like a 5-year plan, which is now maybe like an 8-year plan. And we would like to spread it to a couple of other hospitals, either locally or a hospital that has a number of hospitals throughout the country. And that would be creating it in a way that we could help them with a grant and create like a lesson plan or a syllabus on how to raise money and how the hospital should raise money. Because what we do for Lori's is a separate entity, even though they help us collect money. And I think that it's important as we move forward that the hospitals know how to continue that relationship with their families and how to build on the fact that they are doing something for the families, and how working with families can also help children thrive when they are ill. That's our goal. I don't know when we're going to get there. I'm feeling that the Lori's needs us right now. And I feel like we are helping a pretty large population because they're a large hospital, right? But I would like to help smaller hospitals as we move forward. And that's why I really want them to take part in the fundraising and maybe find a family that could support Aaron's Coffee Corner as a fundraising family. So I have all these ideas in my head, but right now we're focusing on Aaron's Coffee Corner and how we raise our funds and that we can continue the legacy. I mean, we're in our 4th year, and we'd like that to be for 40 years. There's no end in sight for our work at Lori's. So it depends on where the path leads.
Tell us what the phrase power of Passionistas means to you.
It is an interesting concept because, women run the world. And I think that the idea of women supporting women is kind of overlooked and sometimes not really appreciated. So I think that it's really important for people to remember that we should be supporting one another as women. And we should be supporting people that are believing in what they're doing, because everyone that is participating in this is really trying to find a way to help others be their best selves. Whether that is, remembering to be kind or remembering how to act in an office or to vote, those are all things that can bring more gusto to what women can do in the world. And it's an important time to remember that women have a say in what happens in the world, and we should really take advantage of it.
What's your dream for women?
Wow, I would like them to get paid as much as men. I would like them to be appreciated for working from home. I would like them to have a right to choose what to do with their body. I mean, these are all very basic things that really haven't quite hit the threshold yet. And I think that we need to look around and help those basic levels of necessity be reached.